Hey folks, good morning. 8:02 in the morning. I apologize. I would like to blame it on Destiny. I really would. Destiny knows I would like to blame it on her for it being 8:02, but I have been working on some things. There is so much going on, and I don't mean, let me make sure. Hold on, let me type something. Leave that up there. I gotta check something. There's so much going on, and I do not mean impeachment. There's the ratings are in the tank. Okay. It's like there was never any ratings. Everything was created, and we're realizing that. Now, let me just say this about corruption, about the impeachment, because I want to move on to something else. And we will get to impeachment, and I understand Sondland's coming in today, and I understand the deep state media, along with the Never Trump Network, okay, that this could be the day. Why Sondland could perjure himself. And the Democrats could, now Vindman perjured himself, and Democrat witnesses perjured themselves. But today could be the day where Sondland perjures himself and finds him to be a cellmate. In fact, let's put this up. This is the intent, and that's what we go for here by the media. Some of the things, we have video, we have clips. We'll try to get into that. I don't want to say this is not relevant, okay? But, okay, here it is, number 35. Give me 35. Ambassador to EU, Sondland testifies today. Appointed as U.S. Ambassador to EU by President Trump in 2018. Involved in high-level diplomatic discussions in Ukraine. Mentioned in whistleblower complaint. Updated impeachment testimony describing Ukraine quid pro quo. So today they are, the biggest thing they want to do today is Michael Cohen. You remember the guy that went to prison on like 8 counts of corruption and all of that? Those crimes that he went to prison for that were unrelated to anything to do with President Donald Trump. Here we go, is Sondland, they want to make Sondland Michael Cohen's roommate today. Yeah, that's it. And then they'll have David Holmes, and we'll talk about that later, come in and save the day tomorrow, and he's their cleanup batter, and he's going to drive David Holmes tomorrow in baseball. He's going to drive all the runs in, and you, the American people, are going to cheer, and you are going to thank Adam Schiff and Nancy Pelosi, and you are going to say, thank you for saving the democracy. Not going to happen. Hasn't happened. The one thing that American people are taking away, and this is what I'm going to say on this. I want to move to something else. The American people get the sound bites. And as it was said, I think by Devin Nunes, the ranking Republican member of the Intelligence Committee, do you think it's ironic that the committee is called Intelligence and Schiff's in charge of it? Like a dumbass in charge of intelligence. Woo! Okay, moving right along, okay? The one thing, Nunes said yesterday, you know what? The American people are past, if this was Nunes, NBC, ABC, CBS, they're past the networks, and they know how to go to find the truth. And here is what is, it circles back to, no matter if it's Vindman, no matter if it's Taylor, no matter if it's Kent, no matter if it's the deep state lady yesterday, I don't remember her name, no matter if it's Yovanovitch, no matter who, and no matter how they frame. Now, the DCCC, and we will talk about that. Who is the DCCC? The Democrat Committee, Congressional Campaign Committee? Now, the DCCC is a nervous wreck. Who are they? Those are the people that want to reelect members of Congress, Democrat members of Congress, so that Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats can retain power. They are so nervous, they had to switch from quid pro quo to bribery, and we'll talk about that in a minute. They're a nervous wreck over there. Nervous Nancy's nerves are shot. But the one word, as the DCCC and the Democrats tried to move this from quid pro quo, okay, to bribery, extortion, all this, the American people's eyes have been opened to Ukraine being corrupt. That's it. Now, you and I, because this is an audience that you guys keep, pay attention to things, okay? You and I know that Ukraine's corrupt. We know it's always been corrupt. But the takeaway here so far, now we can get into Vindman, and Vindman did not follow chain of command. I love it. He went in full dress military. Now, is he a full bird colonel? Now, I don't know. I'm not being disrespectful. Put my number up there really quick. Text me if I'm right. I could Google this, but text me if I'm wrong. There's colonel, lieutenant colonel, and there's a full bird, okay? I'd like to know, is Vindman full bird anyhow? All right, go back to that last picture. That being said, the American people are picking up Ukraine is corrupt. Ukraine was corrupt then. Ukraine has been corrupt. Ukrainian people that are in power claim to investigate corruption and got paid off to stop it because they're corrupt. The American people have learned that the oligarch of Burisma, along with investigators, he paid them off, government officials in Ukraine, to stop the investigation. He I don't know if it's exiled from the country, the owner or CEO of Burisma. Corrupt. Here's the second thing. No matter how mad the Democrats get, in the 30-second sound bites or in the things that they are reading in the 2 or 3 minutes that they have, you know what? They're thinking, okay, no matter what witness goes up there, we're learning how corrupt Ukraine is. So tell me why the Bidens are involved. Why? Why would they insert themselves into something so corrupt? That's the bigger question the American people are asking. There is no audience for this, okay? It's all a created story. I mean, they're doing their best. I loved it this morning. We'll go through it in a minute. I loved it this morning because I turned on the TV and CNN at 4 a.m. I'm wondering, how are they going to report yesterday? And CNN basically said, we got nothing. We got nothing. We're going to move to Sondland, okay? If you look at these other networks, all right, other networks, and I want to stay on networks for a minute because I want you to make sure this is on the tag words or in the sentence or whatever in the description when we put it up. When you're looking at these networks, they're not playing full clips of anything. Well, they've gone into emotion, Vindman's opening statement. It just, the Americans at all. In other countries, I would be in fear for my life. But here, Daddy, it's like he wrote a song. And I know, don't disrespect the man in his military uniform. Sorry out there. Please, 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 please. Where is it at? Let me get to it. Hold on. I got it here in just a second. Won't take long at all. Won't take long at all here. Well, they're saying Mike Pompeo is going to resign. So let's go to number 15. This is what they're trying to play this morning. Lieutenant Colonel Vindman's moving opening statement. Do you realize if you go to the other networks, the majority of the clips they're playing are open statements? Why open statements? Because there's no questioning. It's exactly what they want to say. And here is number 16. Lieutenant Colonel Vindman expressed faith in America. Here, Dad, I'll be okay. Dad, don't worry. Dad, thank you for leaving Russia. And as a little tot, a little tyke, I was able to come to the great country of America. And now I'm here today because here right matters. Oh my God, what a movie line. Who's writing these movie lines? I know a movie line when I hear it. So anyhow, that is what happened yesterday, not totally. And today they're hoping Sondland comes up and will become Michael Cohen's cellmate. All right? Cellmate. Now let's go to this because I want to say something first, okay? I defer. Who are you waiting to see the Democrats call as a witness next? I mean, just think if we were in 1950 and there was a White House switchboard and they could call. Now, I know you're going to say, well, that's awful sexist or assuming, well, it was 1960, they could call the ladies on the switchboard up. Say, you were on the switchboard. Did you hear the call? Yes, I directly heard the call. I switched it in. How many others of you were on the call? We all went on it. We thought it was inappropriate. It is actually humorous, but it's scary. I make light of it. I make humor out of it every once in a while, but it's scary, folks. Told you this for a long time. We've talked about Fox News. And every single time, okay, I talk about networks. If you're new to the show, let me bore you just for 15 seconds. I get up at 4 a.m., I turn on CNN, okay? 4 a.m., I turn on CNN, all right? 5 a.m., I turn on MSNBC. There's periods of time where I flip over to Fox to see what they're saying. Last Friday is the most recent one, all right? Fixed news. I call them fixed news. And every time you hear me talk about CBS, okay, CBS, NBC, ABC, MSNBC, you name it, what do I always tell you here? I say Fox is playing their role, remember? How many times have you been on this show, okay? Because I'm going to give props to the guy. I'm going to give him his props. How many times have you been on this show and heard me say, okay, that Fox's job is to manipulate the independent vote? When Fox does a viewer analysis, they have Democrat viewers. They have an overwhelming amount of Republican viewers. But their core audience is independents. Absolutely. Independence is the core audience. And I have told you all too many times, what have I told you here? They're doing their job. Now, I already know this, and I brought it up Friday in the All-Star panel. We're going to talk about this again Friday. And there's a generation in this country that turns it on at 7 a.m. We'll go with 7, maybe 6, 7. And it goes off at 10 o'clock at night. Happens to be my mom and dad's house. Now, not backing up, but the audience that you're aware of, for 4 or 5 months, maybe 4 months, that I have been traveling due to family illness. And I watch this household turn on Fox News in the morning, turn it off at night. I watch them. I watch them no matter if they're not even paying attention to it. It's on. It's a whole generation. I brought that up Friday. You can go back to our clip and the All-Star panel will tell you. So, I don't know if it was yesterday. I'll pull it up. We're going to talk about it. Go to number 1. Okay. And number 1, let me just Google, because I like to Google things to see what the internet says. Rush, never Trump Fox News. I got that out. And let's see, the Washington Examiner. Rush Limbaugh, bemoans, is that what it is? Right? Never Trumpers now all over Fox News. All right? Conservative radio host Rush Limbaugh, Fox News has so many never Trumpers on the network during his Wednesday show. The host railed against House Intelligence Committee Adam Schiff's Democrat for their impeachment inquiry into President Trump's phone call, into which he requested Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky investigation, Vice President Joe Biden and son. We even got never Trumpers now all over Fox News. So he is telling you Fox News, and this is Rush, is the Never Trumper Network. I have been telling you they're the Never Trumper Network. I don't know if I quote said Never Trumper Network, but I have told you for months right here on this show to be careful. Fox News was playing their role in this, and that Fox News was playing their role, and their role was to lead you to believe they're still reporting news at the same time swaying independence. Now, you and I know, okay, that there was a time, Roger Ailes, okay, or whatever, there was a time when you did not turn on MSNBC and see them run any Fox clips. No. You did not turn on CNN and have them reference in what they call a news story, okay, Fox News. Oh, it's not been very long ago. But now it's a common occurrence that MSNBC loves to play a reel of Chris Wallace. MSNBC loves to play clips from Fox News, CNN too. They love Fox News polls. Why, if you would watch NBC or MSNBC, CNN, or any of them 1 week, you would pick up real quick all the networks are together against Trump. That's my statement, 821. We will talk more about that later, but I want to come back to, we will do impeachment. Damn it, if the American people don't want to watch it on TV, why the hell should I come here and bore myself along with you with trying to find out if the president's going to be impeached? It's going to backfire. In fact, we're going to talk about this, and I'm going to come back. Give me number 2. Why Democrats move from quid pro quo to bribery and impeachment push. Why? It's all politics. It's not to save the crumbling democracy. It's not that every time they open their mouth, we have to do this. Our founding fathers wrote the Constitution. We have to. It's our duty. We swore an oath. Bull crap. It's all politics. To save the House, save your ass. I tell you what, they don't want to, Adam Schiff has that big chair, the big chair. He got a big chair, right? He don't want to see Nunes sit in it. Jerry Nadler over in Judiciary, he's slumping in that big chair. They don't want to see Doug Collins in it. Or maybe somebody else. Doug may be senator in Georgia. Take a break. We have so much to do.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge, we have your new house in stock.
Hey folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Now, I have learned this from the Democrats. You're guilty until proven innocent. So I want to know who stole my coffee cup. My coffee cup is missing. Is there a thief among us? I got to root this evil out. I'm like Adam Schiff, baby. I got to root this. I'm missing my coffee cup. I'm drinking out of styrofoam. Oh my God, and now I just told the environmentalist. Here I am drinking out of styrofoam. You know, I'm green to the whatevers. All right, folks. Yes, Tom in Fort Lauderdale. Your coffee cup is on the way. I have them ordered because what Tom did yesterday is said, he actually, let me read this. I really like this. Here is the rule, and this is going out today on social media, so I think probably it'll be a one-day event. The coffee cups are already going out. Can you put up the coffee cup? Do you have that? Because you can't see it on my desk. Because people love it so much, somebody is absconded. Is that the word? I don't know. With my coffee cup. Anyhow, I have 20 of these ordered. Okay, I'm waiting for them to come in. Kind of why I've been a little slow with pushing it, but those of you out there have already sent me Merry Christmas to BKP FYN at that number, because we say Merry Christmas. I've decided to put out 20 of those out of my pocket. I've purchased 20. And Tom said, Merry Christmas, BKP from Tom in Fort Lauderdale. I watch the show 5 days a week. Damn. Now my nerves are shot. You understand, Dusty? Now that I know somebody's always watching, right? Holy smokes. All right, let's get to this. All right, so send that, just that number right there. Text me, 889-9700. Tell me, you know, Merry Christmas, BKP, or FYN. We have added that. All right, so now let's go to Georgia a minute. I understand. Would you stop telling me that Vindman lied? Will you stop telling me things about yesterday's? I understand. I get it. I want to live in what is really affecting our lives this morning, not Democrats on Capitol Hill with impeachment. Now, number 8. This is our Georgia. Stay in here right now, because Stacey Abrams is going to welcome. They are going to make her a national hero today. Not that she's not already with the Democrats. They are coming in Tyler Perry's studio is where they'll be holding the debate. Now, not some really historical spot or theater in downtown Atlanta. They'll be doing it at Tyler Perry's studio because it is a production. Now, I'm not taking him to task because they chose that and they want to do it there. But these people right here, Cory Booker, Tulsi Gabbard, Amy Klobuchar, Pete Buttigieg bringing up the rear. Always got to be careful with that. He's surging in the polls. I got it. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Elizabeth Warren, Joe Biden, Bernie Sanders, Kamala Harris, Andrew Yang, and Tom Steyer. Okay? That's on the debate stage tonight. 1, will the debate surround impeachment? 2, will they ask Elizabeth Warren about her most recent comment saying she wants a wealth tax? 3, will they ask Tulsi Gabbard why she insists that Hillary Clinton is the embodiment, everything about her is corruption there? Cory Booker, will he beg you, the American people, and the Democrats at first in primary, will he beg you to say, please, are you not look, I'm black. I swear on a stack of whatevers, okay? If I'm Cory Booker tonight, I look at the camera and say, Democrats, NBC keeps telling you and keeps trying to help Pete Buttigieg figure out how to get a black vote. I'm black. I'm the brother on the stage. I would do it. So that's Cory Booker. Yang will continue to give away $1,000. He wants a standard universal salary for everybody. Gets $1,000. Tom Steyer will say we need to impeach the President of the United States. Bernie Sanders will flail his arms. And Joe Biden will say that the impeachment hearings is just further proof that we've got to get this criminal out of the White House. Whatever. But who will be missing? Okay? We got another one. Oh my gosh, the cups are going. They're flying off the shelf. I got to settle down. So here's the thing, okay? Who's missing? Now, I've had some people say it's not relevant. I disagree. I got my eye open on this because let me tell you who's missing. And let me say this. Let's drill down on this. Okay? Let's go to... Let's go to number 21. Well, there's Big O and Deval Patrick. Deval Patrick's not going to be on the stage. Deval Patrick has announced his candidacy for the Democrat nomination. Deval Patrick's from Bain Capital. Deval Patrick is a former governor. Means he has gotten votes. In his state, Elizabeth Warren has gotten the votes. Deval Patrick is an unashamed, how do I say it, capitalist. He will tell you he's a capitalist, okay? Do you think that this bright man, now I'm gonna give this guy some props that you might not. Do you think this bright man was sitting home last Sunday and saying, Lovey, while they were drinking the coffee in the afternoon, Lovey, I just don't see where the Democrats could win with the current field of candidates. Deval, you must run. You say, Lovey, I must run. Yes, Deval, I will, my dear. I will run. Do you realize that's what the media thinks, that we're that damn dumb? We got to know. I want a card that says that damn dumb. We're not that damn dumb. Okay. Anyhow, they're over there saying, you don't have to yell about it. Just say, send us an email, say you want that. Deval Patrick, this is calculated. While they've sat down, there's been meeting after meeting. Deval has said, Obama, is it time? No, you just wait. You wait. Shouldn't I be on that debate stage, Obama? No, you just wait. 'Cause let me tell you something. They could debate till the cows come home in Iowa. They could debate till Buttigieg, I ain't saying anything. But the day I come out and say, I endorse you, it's all over. The brothers will vote for you. The sisters will vote for you. I go out and give it a waka waka. And you're in. Now, I could be out there on the limb, but I just don't think this brilliant man, he's a smart man, Deval Patrick, Democrat, Republican, no matter what you want to say, Deval Patrick is not anyone's fool. It's a smart man. So let me say this. Here you go. Let's go to number 22. Check the homies out. They're homies for life. Homies for life. Let's go to number 23 right there in the Oval Office. There's Deval and Barack. They're homies. Homies for life. And let's go to number 24. Let's ride around on the plane. What are you doing? Deval, what you doing this afternoon? Nothing. I'm in charge of everything up here. I'm in charge of everything here. Let's ride around. Let's get on the plane. Homies. Now, I'm going to step out there, and, there's a show that's on Netflix. I know people are yelling. I'm not promoting the show, but I'm going to tell you, I watch it. It's 3 seasons. And it's called Atypical, right? Right, Atypical. And you remember Rashad and Sam? Well, you remember Rashad was supposed to get married, and he's supposed to have the Asian Elvis do it. And she ran away at the altar. I know I'm boring you. And then they already paid the money, and Sam and Rashad wanted to be pronounced homies for life. Remember that, homies for life? Folks, you're looking at homies for life. Those brothers, they like this, okay? No coincidence Deval Patrick came out when he did. No coincidence that's his boy, okay? Iowa farmers. Now, let's go to the boy that would be king, all right? Let's go to that. Number 5, all right? The boy that would be king. he's got the Gay Brigade, okay, and he's got the Gay Brigade, all right, and he has spent an enormous amount of money. Now, take a quick break, and we're going to follow this up right after these messages.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
I'm Jeff Riblett, President of Asset Protection Group. As a certified financial planner and with 20 years experience, I've helped thousands of families and business owners create a tremendous amount of wealth. Fortunately, most of that wealth has been protected. Don't allow an unforeseen life event, such as a nursing home stay or the next market meltdown, destroy your family's wealth. Be smart. Call me. Let's determine how best to protect your assets and preserve your wealth.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge, we have your new house in stock.
All right, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Trying to find some news here. In Georgia. All right, like we were saying before we went to break, okay, so I know impeachment. I always got to clear that up. Those are the ways to get in touch with us. Impeachment's very important, but we're talking about Georgia right now. And the reason is Georgia's on the national stage once again, and we have a couple things happening. We have some very big congressional races I'm going to go over. We have two Senate races I'm going to go over. We have, and I'm going to give you some predictions. You want to listen to this. We have the debate tonight that we've already let you know, okay? We already let you know, number 8, okay? They will be on the stage, all right? And we told you, we've talked about that who will be missing, okay? Who will be missing? And number 23, and I think this is fitting because Deval Patrick is on Obama's left, my right, whatever. We all know Obama, so the other guy. And he's getting a tour of the possibly future Oval Office that he wants to occupy. We talked about why he's missing. Now we have the boy who would be king, surging in Iowa, number 5, Pete Buttigieg. Now why is Buttigieg, that's where we left, why is he surging in Iowa? Okay. He's surging in Iowa for what reason? He's spending his money. Now the gay brigade, I don't say that jokingly, is the LGBTQF. I added the F. I always think there should be flamers. You have flamers, okay? That's my little addition. But the LGBTQ whatever F community has sent this guy. This guy is getting $10 from him. This guy's getting $2,500. This guy is getting an enormous amount. There are CEOs, okay? There are CEOs in corporations that are LGBTQ community CEOs. They're sending money to this guy. This guy is getting an enormous amount of queer money from Apple and Google. Gay, LGBTQ. Q is queer, right? I mean, you can get mad all day long. I don't care. He's getting an enormous amount of lesbian, gay, LGBT, trans, LGBTQ, queer, whatever, from corporations. This guy is raking in the money from the gay brigade across this country. There's a reason why national polling he's down, because nationally America, we'll call it, not ready for a gay mayor. And keep your eyes off him, guys. He's married. Don't be looking at him. I know you think he's cute out there, but he's a married man. You stay away from him. Moving right along, he has a lot of money. He knows he has to launch in Iowa. So he spent the money there. He is recently rising in the polls in New Hampshire. He's spending the money there. Went to Morehouse College yesterday, or day before yesterday, to speak to young black Americans. He's trying to break through the boy that would be king in the black community. I wonder if he would make, for Barack Obama and Deval Patrick, I wonder if he would make a good vice presidential candidate. I wonder. We'll see. Anyhow, so they're going to be in Atlanta tonight. I tell you, Deval Patrick is not on the stage, but I ask you nicely, I say nicely, don't discount the guy. Now, let's go into this. Senators, okay? Well, Senator Perdue will obviously win re-election. Obviously. That's my thought. David Perdue does not have a challenge. Now, let's look at Georgia when we talk about senators, because we don't have this really big margin, okay? Governor Brian Kemp, Johnny Isakson, and let's go there, and let's put this in a box, because this is more important than the impeachment trial right now, America. So number 44, there is Governor Brian Kemp, all right? And he has the task of appointing a senator for the state of Georgia. Johnny Isakson there, right there, is retiring. December 31st, he's hanging up his hat. He's going to settle in. Johnny and I are this far apart on politics, okay? We're like this on me wishing him well. And I hope if he can't recover from his health issues, that, he lives a long life and having to endure what he's going through. But here, I got to be, here, you know what? It's just, I got to be honest. Isakson and myself are this far apart on politics. Now, he is retiring, and the state of Georgia out here, we'll tell you if you're watching California, we are expecting this governor to appoint a conservative, conservative senator. This the guy is going to drive his truck around and round up the illegals himself and haul them down to Texas. Drop them off, throw them across the wall. This the guy that, got a shotgun ready to go. Now, Governor Kemp, we like him. But he told us he was a conservative when he ran. So we're all watching this pick he has coming up as senator. Now, the other thing about the pick is, I'm going to leave it at this, okay? I've watched Congressman Doug Collins, and I'm going to use, I didn't have his picture, but I'm going to use him as an example. Congressman Doug Collins has positioned himself to showing his position is, he applied for the job. He went to the football game and said to the governor, hey, I'd like to have the job. He's given every indication he wants to be the next senator of Georgia. So if not picked, will Doug Collins still run for Senate in Georgia? Will he? Because my understanding is the person that has to run, because it's going to be a brief time, you have to run for this. This seat is up. My understanding it's going to be, what do they call it, a jungle primary. That Isakson's seat will not be a political party defined election. It will not go into a Democrat primary, a Republican primary, and then the winners face off in 2020. So let me ask this question. There's 500. Here's the second step of this that you have to pay attention to. We're just saying off the top of our heads, there's 500 applicants. 500 applicants, okay? The window is closed. Can't take any more receipts. The betting window is closed. So who he will pick is an interesting pick. But what's more interesting is who will run. Now, my prediction is, and I could be wrong, my prediction is that if Kemp does not make the pick that can also be the front runner in raising money, Kemp could risk, although Trump could win, Kemp could risk losing that Senate seat to the Democrats. Why? Because what happens at the ballot box in a jungle primary, you tell me if I'm wrong. This is what I'm thinking. I don't think we've got primary. I don't think we're going to have a Democrat. I don't think so. I could be wrong. Please look it up. I'll be glad to say I'm wrong if I am. So who's going to run for the seat is my question. Who will run? I think if Doug Collins is not picked by the governor, I think Doug Collins will announce his candidacy for Senate in the state of Georgia in a fair and free election. Watch it. But it's time for Brian Kemp, the governor of Georgia, all due respect, Mr. Governor, it's time for you to tell the people of Georgia who we will have as our next senator appointed by you, our governor, that had campaigned as a conservative. And we're going to come back, short break, I promise. I want to get that. Short break. We're going to come back and we're talking about our hashtag flip the 6th, save the 7th. Take us to break.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
I'm Jeff Riblett, president of Asset Protection Group. As a certified financial planner and with 20 years experience, I've helped thousands of families and business owners create a tremendous amount of wealth. Fortunately, most of that wealth has been protected. Don't allow an unforeseen life event, such as a nursing home stay or the next market meltdown, destroy your family's wealth. Be smart. Call me. Let's determine how best to protect your assets and preserve your wealth.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
All right, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. We have actually moved through several things this morning, all the way up to 9 o'clock. There's the phone number. Now, I want to move to one more thing, okay? We've talked about the presidential, the Democrat Party presidential debate tonight, all right? We have talked about the opening of networks and Fox News and Never Trumpers. We just finished talking about Georgia Governor Brian Kemp, and let's go with 44, and his job as governor to appoint a senator for us that live here in Georgia in the next election, and that window is closed. Brian Kemp, Georgia Governor Brian Kemp, gave all Georgians an opportunity to apply and say, hey, here's the reason I should be senator. The window closed. We're looking like any day. We're like you know how the Catholics, I always get in trouble, but I don't know how to avoid it, folks. You know how the Catholics wait for that smoke? They wait for that smoke from the Vatican when they're standing around waiting for a pope. Well, Republicans, we're waiting for that smoke from the gold dome down there to see who will be the next senator. So now let's move to something else, okay? Now, we're going to get a little bit of impeachment. You know who I want to see the Democrats call as a witness? Because they have heard and manipulated the story in so many different ways to try to get you to believe it. I think they should call number 45. I think the Democrats should call the dude. I think they should. I think they should call the dude. I really do. I mean, he can go up there and say, hey, man, I heard this from, the guy down here and the guy down there at the bowling alley. So the dude likes to hang out at the bowling alley. I really think they should call the dude. Now, let's get back to that last picture. Governor has to appoint the senator. Now, let's go to Congress. Stay on elections, number 2. All right, number 2, why Democrats moved quid pro quo, okay, to bribery and impeachment push. Now we're going to put this, we're going to tie this to the impeachment. We're going to tie this to the 6th and 7th district in Georgia. We're going to tie this to flipping the House back to Republican control. So give me let's play the video for a minute here. I think it's Ratcliffe destroys, absence of bribery to witness testimony. Do you have that one? Let's play that for a minute, okay? We're not going to play probably all 5 minutes, but let's play this for just a minute of Ratcliffe, Congressman Ratcliffe out of Texas. Go.
In a press conference last Thursday, Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, said that President Trump committed the impeachable offense of bribery, evidenced in his July 25th call transcript with President Zelensky. In concert with that, multiple Democratic members of this committee gave TV and radio interviews over this past week discussing how the president's conduct supported his impeachment for committing bribery, all of which struck me as very odd, because for the longest time this was all about quid pro quo, according to the whistleblower complaint. But after witness began saying there was no quid pro quo, or even that quid pro quo was not even possible, we saw a shift from the Democrats. They briefly started to refer to the president's conduct on the July 25th call as extortion. And now it's shifted again last week to bribery. Ms. Williams, you used the word unusual to describe the president's call on July 25th. Lieutenant Colonel Vindman, you used the word inappropriate and proper. Now, I've word searched each of your transcripts, and the word bribery or bribe doesn't appear anywhere in that. Ms. Williams, you've never used the word bribery or bribe to explain President Trump's conduct, correct?
No, sir.
Colonel Vindman, you haven't either.
That is correct.
The problem is, in an impeachment inquiry that the Speaker of the House says is all about bribery, where bribery is the impeachable offense, no witness has used the word bribery to describe President Trump's conduct. None of them. These aren't all of the deposition transcripts. These are just the 10 that have been released. 6 weeks of witness interviews in this impeachment inquiry, hundreds of hours of testimony, thousands of questions asked, thousands of answers given. The number of times that witnesses have been asked any question about whether or not President Trump's conduct constituted bribery before Ambassador Yovanovitch was asked by my colleague, Congressman Stewart, last Thursday, is 0. The number of times witnesses have used the word bribery or bribe to describe President Trump's conduct in the last 6 weeks of this inquiry is 0. In fact, in these 3,500 pages of sworn deposition testimony and just these 10 transcripts released thus far, the word bribery appears in these 3,500 pages exactly 1 time. And ironically, it appears not in a description of President Trump's alleged conduct, it appears in a description of Vice President Biden's alleged conduct. This is important because as early as next week, my Democratic colleagues are going to say, we need to vote on the evidence from this impeachment inquiry, on the impeachment of the president for bribery. And they're going to send a report to the Judiciary Committee, and because there's more Democrats than Republicans, it's going to likely pass. And when that happens, the American people need to be clear that when the Democrats, what they are describing as bribery, not a single witness is describing as bribery. We've heard many times in the court.
All right, I let that play a little longer than I wanted because Representative Ratcliffe was making a very good point. Now, that is not being played around the NBC, ABC, CBS, hashtag deep state corporate corrupt media. So why Democrats moved from quid pro quo to bribery in the impeachment push? Why did they? Okay. You have a stack this high of 10 depositions released. Not one time is it referred to. You heard both of the witnesses say, we never refer to it as bribery, but Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House, now shifted, these are evil, lying people to the American public. They're scary. They're flat out scary what they will do. They want to bring this man down at all cost. And the cost is you, and the cost is our country, out of your pocket, our country. So Nancy Pelosi and them moved to bribery. Why did they do that? Okay, why? And that's what we're going to get into our next little segment here. If you've been following the impeachment inquiry closely, you'll notice Democrats have moved away from using term quid pro quo to describe President Trump's alleged misconduct in July phone call with Ukrainian President Zelensky and have instead embraced bribery. Why did they do that? House Speaker Nancy Pelosi explained in a press conference that the use of the word bribery makes it easier for the American people to understand. Quid pro quo for dummies, you the American people. Talking Latin around here, e pluribus unum, for many, one, quid pro quo bribery, she said. And it's in the Constitution attached to the impeachment proceeding. Okay? That's not the whole story. However, according to the Washington Post, terminology shift came after, now listen to this quote, after the DCCC conducted focus groups in battleground states. Battleground states. The shift came, and this is from the Washington Post, the shift came after Democrat Congressional Campaign Committee. So every time you hear DCCC, okay, Democrat Congressional Campaign Committee. The whole entire impeachment's a sham. It's politically motivated. They are testing what plays because they are in fear of what's about to happen in congressional races. For what reason? Because the Republicans stand a chance of taking back the House and may just do it. Okay? They're blowing this so bad. 65% of Americans say impeachment hearings won't change view of Trump. They're blowing this so bad because the American people are hearing corruption, barisma, and wondering why in the hell is Biden even getting involved in that. You hear things like, you look at things, just think about it on our terms. And when I say our terms, think about it. Say to yourself, so-and-so, he goes over there or she goes over there and she goes in the midst of that knowing blah, 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 blah. Knowing blah, 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 blah. All right, in our terms, and I say just down to earth, right? We always say the birds of a feather, right? We love our birds of a feather that flock together. That's what the American people are taking away from this, okay? Not that Vindman said, Lieutenant Colonel Vindman said, Dad, I'm safe, I'm in America. Okay, glad you're safe. For the Washington Post, the shift came after Democrat Congressional Campaign Committee conducted focus groups in key House battlegrounds in recent weeks. Testing messages related to impeachment among questions put to participants was whether quid pro quo, extortion, or bribery was more compelling description of Trump's conduct, according to two people familiar with results, which circled among Democrats this week. The focus group found bribery, to be most damning. The people spoke on the condition of anonymity. The people spoke on the condition of anonymity. They do every damn thing under anonymity, and nobody can prove a damn thing because the results have not been made public. So Nancy comes out and she switches over to what? She switches over to bribery. Now, let me pull up my last couple things I want to do. First of all, congressional out there, from Florida to New York, get involved in your local. From Florida, you've got a lot of conservative areas. You've got a lot of conservative areas in the United States that are in California. You have conservative areas, yes, in New York. You have conservative areas, yes, in New Jersey. You do. You have conservative areas in Illinois. Get to work. Florida, get to work. Second, we can take back the House. You need to realize there's multiple states from Virginia to Pennsylvania and so on and so forth that have rewritten, North Carolina, you name it, have redrawn the congressional maps to favor Democrats. So you got extra work. You got extra work to do in your homework. Okay? So let's look at this. Georgia. The 6th district, number 42. Now, how do I say this and wrap this into this? We want to flip the 6th. Hashtag flip the 6th. Why is Karen Handel getting the endorsements of the Johnny Isaksons and others? Why? Why are GOP power players in Georgia endorsing her once again? I'm going to tell you why, and they're not going to like it. And I'm going to tell you how I feel, and they're not going to like it. Because I do believe that the GOP in Georgia feel there's an undercurrent in some of these districts that are anti-Trump, and whoever the candidate is needs moderate, very moderate endorsements so that they don't seem too radical and can possibly win. What do I mean by that? Now, this is the boy, the man-child. He's the boy that they hoped would be king in Georgia. This is the boy that they hoped would start the ball rolling and everybody would fall in love with the likes of him and Francis O'Rourke in Texas. This is Jon Ossoff. John's running for Congress. No, he's not. Back up. John's running for Senate. He thinks he could get the whole enchilada. He ran against Karen Handel. Karen Handel is a career politician. She is going to cuss me. No, she's not. I can't say that. I don't even know if Karen cusses. So let me sincerely apologize. She won't. It's just in my head, like other things. Karen will not like what I'm about to say, but she's a career politician. Karen is the Forrest Gump of politics. Run, Karen, run. I mean, there is no loss in politics for her that she don't think she could overcome and run again. You go, girl. But she ran against Ossoff in the 6th District of Georgia in what has been labeled the most expensive congressional district, DCCC, in history, this congressional race. And this was after Tom Price. Tom Price became HHS secretary, and Karen had to run against Ossoff. So she won. We stayed up late that night. It was a slim margin, and she won. Then she decided, my words, that she wasn't a big friend to Donald when she got up there. She had to play that, I want to support the president, but I got to think this out. I need to hear everything before I can make a comment. I need to know all the facts before I could really do this, that, okay, all right. So she became known as a never Trumper. Now, to me, I would ask her if she'll come on the show, are you a never Trumper? One. And if you're not a never Trumper, how are you going to convince voters that you support the President of the United States? So number 43, she runs against, should have been a slam dunk. Lucy McBath, she wants to take your guns. She wants to lock down your kids in schools. She wants to, you name it. If it Green New Deal, if it could be liberal to the left, this lady is for it. Should have been a slam dunk. Karen Handel should have beat Lucy McBath as a slam dunk. Now, this is an off-year election. The president's not on the ballot. When Lucy McBath kicked Karen Handel's ass. Sorry, I always should not. Every time I say in my brain, you shouldn't say that. Why the hell do I say that? But anyhow, when she won, handily. There you go. Karen should have won. Now, I was told, and I'm not, no names, but I was told by a I'm going to give it 3 varies, very, very, very powerful Republican, that I was incorrect in the nicest way. See, I feel Karen Handel did not win re-election in the 6th District, and we lost a seat right here in Georgia that used to be years ago, Newt Gingrich, list goes on. But that being said, the President of the United States flew into Macon. He brought the big bird to Macon. The weekend before, I think, it's all from the top of my head, the election. Now, Brian Kemp is winning, is running in a squeaker to Stacey Abrams for governor. So in Macon, the president rolls in. They never talk about this one. They break down. Folks, I know. I'm going to look in the camera as arrogant as I can be. I know what happens in these elections. They tend to break down the Trump swooped in, and lost in Louisiana, to a Democrat. That Trump swooped in, all right, and lost to a Democrat in Kentucky. They never break down the exact truth of what happened in those campaigns or those elections. They stay away from an off-year election where Trump swooped in Macon, Georgia, weekend before, had Brian Kemp on the stage, and Kemp won election. He won. No, they don't talk about that. There's a governor's race they don't want to talk about. But anyhow, when he stood on the stage, Karen Handel was nowhere to be found. Now, is Macon 3 hours from her? Yeah. Would it, if you get up that morning and say, honey, let's pour our orange juice together and sit outside and have a bagel. I don't know what the hell they do. Do you think we should drive down this morning? Dear, it is 3 hours. It's a 3-hour drive. Yeah, I know, but the SS Minnow set sail for a 3-hour tour, and they were, you know what happened there. This could be a boat wreck for me to go down there. Yes, dear, I don't think we should drive 3 hours to stand on the stage with the President of the United States. We're going to roll the dice and take our internal polling that says that Trump's a negative in the 6th District of Georgia. And they did. Guess who's Congresswoman now? Lucy McBath. I have had Republicans, and I think this is the reason why. I think they're in fear. I think there's no way now. This guy right here, number 41. And there's Johnny Isakson, and I picked this one because he's on the phone. Who's calling? Karen? Karen who? Handel? Hi, Karen, how are you? And you want what? You want me to endorse you? And why would you want that? Well, you're one of the most liberal. I mean, if you get right behind Susan Collins and Murkowski from Alaska or whatever her name is, and Mitt Romney, I mean, you could be the fourth one in that group. I mean, you guys could have a group 4 of 4, and you're right there. Yeah, I am. I'm pretty liberal, and it used to be my seat, so maybe an endorsement could help you and keep keep you in good faith with the people that are afraid of Trump. All right, I'll do it. Johnny Isakson comes out, retiring, waiting for the governor to appoint his seat, and endorses Karen Handel. Can Karen Handel win the Republican nomination? Will you believe her again if she says she is a Trump supporter? Okay? Will you? Will you vote for her again? And now I will say this is my opinion, okay? Anyone that makes it on the ballot as a Republican will be swept in by the President of the United States. If Karen becomes the nominee for the 6th District of Georgia, let's go back with 43, and we try to win this seat back so we could get one seat closer to getting the majority in the House of Representatives and taking it away from Nancy Pelosi, will she squander that in the general but trying to distance herself from the president again? Because if you don't think people will go pull the lever for Donald Trump and not her, badly mistaken. All right. All right. Now, let me say this for Georgia and I'll move along. We have a 6th district and we have a 7th district. The 6th district we're trying to flip. This is the one Karen Handel wants to be Congresswoman or whatever again. 6th district we want to flip. 7th district we want to save. So keep that in mind. We got 2 districts, 6 and 7. 6 we need to flip. 7th we need to save. We need to realize that here in Georgia and get to work. Now, go back to number 2. We'll wrap this up with, we know why Democrats have moved to bribery. Because there is no impeachment here. This is all politically motivated. They're only doing these impeachment public hearings to see if they could get clips to play. These are free campaign ads. Absolutely. Absolutely. Everything has been set up to be a free campaign ad. The American people know that when Adam Schiff says he does not know the identity of the whistleblower, he's a liar. They know that. All right? So the DCCC, the Democrat campaign, the Democrat, hell, I had it a minute ago, forget about it. They've done the polling that says bribery works better than anything else. They're in fear that the American people are going to throw them out, throw their asses out on the street for what they've done to the President of the United States, wasted their tax money, wasted their time, and wasted what they promised, okay? Because your prescription drug prices are not, you're not better off. Democrats cannot come out and say, are you better off today? Because if they do, then they say, thank you, Donald Trump, because we didn't do a damn thing but investigate him for 2 years. All right? They're afraid we're going to take it back. All right? It's all set up. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. And yes, we will wrap up the last half hour of our show with impeachment and look around the web to see if there's anything new. Take us to break.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge, we have your new house in stock.
Better days ahead. Days Chevy in Jasper makes the holidays bright. And during the 2019 model year end clearance sale, the savings are huge. Like over $11,000 off 2019 Silverado crew cabs, or more than $6,500 off 2019 Chevy Colorados. 'Tis the season of giving, and we're giving you thousands off every Chevy during the 2019 model year end clearance at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys always cost less. Better days ahead. Days Chevrolet. Find new roads.
But BKP, you don't realize Sondland's going to testify today to the account that there was a quid pro quo. And when he testifies, why that will then validate the phone call tomorrow. The Democrats have really laid out methodically their case here. Really? Really? Then why are people not watching? And why every time Republicans get a shot at... So, I promised you... All right. Gotta always have a little Jim Jordan. So let's go to that video. We don't believe you. You got that one? You know what I'm talking about? Huh? Yes. No. We don't believe you. Jim Jordan calls out Schiff. Is that it? What the hell? What do you mean you don't have that one? Hold on now. Let me make sure in my emails what I have sent you. Okay, let's go to the one that has, let's go to the one because we want to do a couple here. Let's go to the one that I said is the Twitter video. Yeah, let's go on this one. I like this one. Tim Morrison. Yeah, let's go on that. Let's do that Twitter video. And then I'll look for the next one.
Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
Dr. Wenstrup.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Both of you gentlemen, thank you very much for being here. I want to start, if I can, with you, Mr. Morrison. In discussing the 725 phone call and the concerns that Lieutenant Colonel Vindman had, Lieutenant Colonel Vindman came to you with edits for the transcript, and you stated that you accepted all of his edits. Is that correct?
I would have accepted all of the edits that I believed were faithful to what was actually discussed.
Did he come to you with an edit that said that the word demand should be in there?
I don't recall that specifically, sir. No.
He didn't either. How soon after the phone call did he meet with you on that particular issue?
We got the draft, as was normal, fairly quickly after the call, so that same day.
That same day. So today he said, I reported my concerns to Mr. Eisenberg. It is improper for the President of the United States to demand a foreign government investigate a U.S. citizen and political opponent. Now, he was going to Mr. Eisenberg with his concerns about the conversation, yet he did not at any point on the edits say that there should be a demand. And, you know, he didn't do that, but he did say that he didn't come to you with his concerns because you weren't available. But that same day, he came to you with edits. Was that correct?
I believe that's generally correct, yes, sir.
Okay. And, well, he said you weren't available. And you didn't hear the president make a demand, did you?
No, sir.
So sometime between the call and today, Lieutenant Colonel Vindman must have been hearing some voices, and he heard demand at the time, but he didn't hear it that day, and he didn't make it an issue that day, but today he does.
Now, this is my understanding, okay? So number 39, White House and Trump launch attack on Vindman, okay? All right, let's run through a couple of these. Number 39, all right. Tim Morrison, Alexander Vindman, former boss. Now, I want to stop there. Testified in his deposition that he had concerns about Vindman's judgment. Now, they say there's an attack on him. Let's go to 38, okay? This is what they're trying to do, and I'll go to MSNBC in a minute. Now, let's look at number 37. Trump demands were inappropriate, okay? Now, he is a lieutenant governor. We're going to leave it there. All right, he is a lieutenant governor, okay? And Let's go to 31. He's a lieutenant governor. I'm so sorry. Lieutenant colonel. I keep saying governor because I'm looking at something. Lieutenant colonel. Sorry about that. Schiff interrupts Nunes questioning. I want to make sure there is no effort to out the whistleblower, because he's asking Vindman, will the NSA, there's so many departments of intelligence, which one did this come out of? And we know that. And then 30, okay. Vindman, Trump ignored talking points about corruption in Zelensky's call. Just going to keep going over these just for a minute, okay. Number 27. All right. Lieutenant Colonel Vindman, Ukrainians' new military aid was on hold before it became public. Okay, that's what he says. Now, we do know, we've broke this down, that the military aid in the media is lying to you, okay? Tell us something we don't know. But the media is lying to you that the military aid that was released the military aid that was not released the day before was no cause to loss of life in Ukraine, and the military aid released the day after this phone call had no bearing on saving life or limb in Ukraine. That is all a process. Once it's released, it goes to another channel, then it starts getting divided out. And we do know, the American people know the truth, that Barack Obama and Ukraine sent them blankets to make sure Putin wasn't upset. That President Trump, the entire time in his administration, has sent the aid in the form of military support that they really needed. So anyhow, so we have that, Lieutenant. Let's go to number 25, Lieutenant Colonel Vindman's moving opening statement. Okay, it's the way they're painting him. Sorry about that. Let's see if I'm going the right direction here. Maybe I am. I think so. Hold on. Let's go to 20. Impeachment probe witnesses describe Trump's Ukraine calls as improper and unusual. No crime. No crime. You feel it's improper. You say, you know what? When you come into a company, Donald Trump is a business owner, okay? And let me just say something to you, okay? And why I didn't say this weeks ago, and why I didn't say it yesterday, and why I'm saying it right now. In my past life, whether you think it's funny or laugh, I'm a hard worker. Just candid, okay? I didn't just start getting up at 4 a.m. I get up at 4 a.m. to do what I do here because this is my job today. But when my job was something else, I made sure I unlocked the place. I used to have a job of going to branch offices, we'll leave that out of it, that were struggling and turning them around. Identifying the problem, coming up with a solution, cleaning out the people that didn't need to be there, the never Trumpers, or never the people that just were bringing down the whole branch, and turning it around. And once it got turned around, I was supposed to leave, okay? I was never supposed to be there permanently. That being said, when I would go into a branch and start doing my initial interviews on what's going on here and what am I working with, and I started to make the changes, I would always have a list. And anybody that came to me and say, well, that's the way we've always done it. That's the way we've always done it here, okay? I would make sure I pulled them in and sit them down and say, explain to me why you said that's the way we've always done it, why you think that way, and do you not think there's a possibility to do something different and achieve a different goal where the solution lies, right? I have done that for years. All I'm telling you here is that's the way Donald Trump thinks, and that's the way these people think. He's a businessman. You can laugh all day long. Donald Trump and I share the same thought process on many things in business. Impeachment probe witnesses describe Trump's Ukraine call as improper and unusual. No, what you're hearing described are That's the way we've always done it. That's what they're calling unusual. That's what they're calling improper. We were told to do it a different way. It's not a crime. We can't find the crime. We know the president's allowed to dismiss ambassadors at his will. We know the president could do this, that, the other thing. We know the president could hold up taxpayer money to go to Ukraine based on the fact that he thinks there's corruption. We know all that. We've just never done it this way. So improper and unusual, you could replace with the sentence, that's not the way we do it. We've always done it. Why are you upset? Because we've always done it this way. Okay? Clearest answer I could give you. 19. Impeachment probe witnesses describe Trump's Ukraine call as Miss Williams. Proper and unusual. Number 18. Vindman. Trump ignored talking points about corruption in Zelensky's call. Number 17, GOP hints at Vindman's dual loyalty. Now, Vindman was offered the Department of Defense or Minister of Defense or Head of Defense of Ukraine, and in his testimony turned it down, and they're trying to make it look like the Republicans are questioning his loyalty to America. Number 16, Lieutenant Colonel Vindman expresses faith in America. Here, right matters. Now there's two, let's go to 15. Here, right matters. Lieutenant Colonel Vindman's moving opening statement. Let me tell you something that is very disturbing to me. Okay? And you stay on that picture. Okay? Because you could see. All right? Now, when he was recognized as Mr. Vindman, okay, what happened? Vindman immediately corrected, right? Immediately corrected. And I'm looking for one here with, let's just go to 34 to save time and come back here. Okay, you see that's Tim Morrissey. Is that his name? You have Volker. Is that his name? Tim Morrissey, Williams, and Vindman. And Tim Morrissey, the guy we just watched the video, we find out the word demand was not in there. And we find out that Tim Morrissey, we know, is Vindman's superior. We go back to the one I told you to go back to a minute ago, right? We know that Morrissey is Vindman's boss. Let me say this, because I don't want to belabor this. I want to go to another video, because you can't do impeachment without Jim Jordan, right? It don't matter what he says. You just got to have some Jim Jordan or the show won't be complete. I don't even know how this fits in, but we got to run Jim Jordan. Let me just finish with this on Vindman, okay? Yesterday, when he was referred to as Mr. Vindman, there was a quick clarification. I'm wearing my full dress. And while I'm in full dress, you acknowledge me as Lieutenant Colonel Vindman, okay? That hit home. That hit in his brain, all right? Think about what hit in his brain. Stay with me on this. Think about what hit in that man's brain. I'm Lieutenant Colonel Vindman. Now, let me tell you what you know if you get to the rank of Lieutenant Colonel. You know the importance of chain of command. You know what happens the minute your ass goes around chain of command and does something. That's the end of your military career. Whoever is your commander is who you report to. If you are a lieutenant colonel and you go around the next rank, or if someone under you goes around you to the next rank, all hell breaks loose. Now, I don't know exactly because I'm not in the military and I did not serve in the military, okay? I'm going to be clear, I did not serve. But I think I know enough on your personnel file that once you get up in some ranks, you can get a mark on that personnel file that basically says you're not going any higher up. So think about this. Tim Morrissey is his boss. Tim Morrissey is his superior. Now, when you're up to lieutenant colonel, you got your brain that works a certain way because you've had it beat in your ass all your life because you're in the military. And you know firsthand that that brain waves in there says, you follow chain of command. Oh, hell, you don't get out of chain of command. I had a guy, a Marine, I don't say ex-Marine, they're never ex-Marines, but he was in the Marines for 8 years. And he sat in my office one night and we had these kind of conversations about what happens if you go out of chain of command and how important chain of command is. I called this ex-Marine in one day, and I was in this Marine in one day in the branch I went to, and we were getting it turned around. And I called him in, and I won't go into detail, we don't have enough time, and I said, listen, what I've noticed here is we absolutely have no chain of command. Yes, sir, I agree 100%. And I said, I think the only way we can turn this ship around is actually clear up the chain of command, because we have some people running the ship that don't understand who is in charge. Yes, sir, I agree. Okay, now you go out of here and you set up and you put me a flow chart together and you got 1 week to bring me back chain of command here in a flow chart. Yes, sir, I'll be glad to do it. Now, this individual was a secretary to a general for 2 years. Oh, yeah. And I can't mention this individual, but he talked about writing reports, typing up reports, general coming in, get me a full report on this, and they had to do it and slap it in the general's hand before they went into a meeting. Exactly. Now, don't take that wrong in the military. I'm not saying these people don't work and do their job. I do not want you to misunderstand what I'm trying to say. But when that individual came back to me, we sat that night and we talked about chain of command. Let me tell you something, this guy's brain, it clicked yesterday when Nunes said Mr. Vindman and he was in his dress. That clicked, okay? This guy knows that he did not go to Morrison or Morrissey, whatever his name is, I might have lost it by now. He did not go to the boss. He went around the boss because he was told to go around the boss. Who told him to go around the boss? All right? Who told this guy? Who directed him where to go? Now let's play the Jim Jordan clip. I'm just telling you, everything about this guy to me is a lie because he knows he should have went to Morrissey and he should have hoped that Morrissey went to the right place. Yeah, I just sent you one. Jim Jordan.
Thank the ranking member. Colonel, I want to thank you for your service and sacrifice to our great country. This afternoon, your former boss, Mr. Morrison, is going to be sitting right where you're sitting, and he's going to testify. And I want to give you a chance. I think we're bringing you a copy. I want to give you a chance to respond to some of the things Mr. Morrison said in his deposition, page 82 of the transcript from Mr. Morrison. Mr. Morrison said this: I had concerns about Lieutenant Colonel Vindman's judgment. Among the discussions I had with Dr. Hill in the transition was our team, its strength, its weaknesses, and Fiona and others had raised concerns about Alex's judgment. When Mr. Morris was asked by Mr. Castor, did anyone ever bring concerns to you that they believe Colonel Vindman may have leaked something? Mr. Morrison replied, yes. So your boss had concerns about your judgment. Your former boss, Dr. Hill, had concerns about your judgment. Your colleagues had concerns about your judgment, and your colleagues felt that there were times when you leaked information. Any idea why they have those impressions, Colonel Vindman?
Yes, Representative Jordan. I guess I'll start by reading Dr. Hill's own words, as she attested to in my last evaluation that was dated middle of July, right before she left. Alex is a top 1% military officer and the best Army officer I've worked with in my 15 years of government service. He is brilliant, unflappable, and exercises excellent judgment.
So
it was it was exemplary during numerous visits, so forth and so on, but I think you get the idea. Mr. Morrison, yeah, date of that was, let's see, I'm sorry, July 13th. So, Mr. Jordan, I would say that I can't say what why Mr. Morrison questioned my judgment. We had only recently started working together. He wasn't there very long, and we were just trying to figure out our relationship. Maybe it was a different cultures, military culture versus.
And Colonel, you never leaked information?
I never did, never would. That is preposterous that I would do that.
Okay, Colonel, it's interesting. We deposed a lot of people in the bunker in the basement of the Capitol over the last several weeks, but of all those depositions, only 3 of the individuals we deposed were actually on the now somewhat famous July 25th phone call between President Trump and President Zelensky. There was you, the individual sitting beside you, Ms. Williams, and then there, of course, was your boss, Mr. Morrison, who I just read from his deposition. When we asked Ms. Williams who she spoke to after the call, about the call, she was willing to answer our questions, and chairmanship allowed her to answer our questions. When we asked Mr. Morrison who he spoke to after the call about the call, he was willing to answer our question, and Mr. Schiff chairmanship allowed him to answer our question. But when we asked you, you first told us 3 individuals at the NSC, your brother and the 2 lawyers. And then you said there was a group of other people you communicated with, but you would only give us 1 individual in that group, Secretary Kent. And the chairman would only allow you to give us that name. When we ask you who else you communicated with, you would not tell us. So I want to know first, how many other people are in that group of people you communicated with outside the 4 individuals I just named?
Yes, Mr. Jordan, on call readout, certainly after the first call, there were probably half a dozen or more people that I read out. Those are people with the proper clearance and the need to know. In this case, because of the sensitivity of the call and Mr. Eisenberg told me not to speak to anybody else, I only read out, outside of the NSC, 2 individuals.
2 individuals.
Das Kent and 1 other person.
And you're not willing to tell us who that other individual is?
Mr. Chairman, point of order.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, point of order.
The gentleman will suspend. Counsel. Mr. Chairman, I would ask you to enforce the rule with regard to the disclosure with regard to the intelligence officer.
Thank you, counsel. As I indicated before, this committee will not be used to out the whistleblower. That same
Mr. Chairman,
necessity
can you first stop the time so I don't lose the time?
Will persist. You are recognized again, Mr. Jordan.
Mr. Chairman, I don't see how this is outing the whistleblower. The witness has testified in his deposition that he doesn't know who the whistleblower is. You have said, even though no one believes you, you have said you don't know who the whistleblower is. So how is this outing the whistleblower to find out who this individual is?
Mr. Jordan, this is your time for questioning. You can use it any way you like, but your question should be addressed to the witness. And your question should not be addressed to trying to out the whistleblower.
Well, okay. Colonel Vindman, there's another thing Mr. Morrison told us in his deposition.
I'm sorry for the lengthy video, but you got to go Jim Jordan, and you got to get Schiff's look on his pasty-ass white face, knowing he's lying, and you got to get Jim Jordan saying, nobody believes you. You got to get that. And the takeaway here, what's the takeaway? To me, your former boss, Vindman, is a liar. Vindman has somebody pulling all of his strings because Vindman understands chain of command. And he went totally around his former boss on this one, knowing somebody said, hey, you do this, we'll run cover for you, we'll take care of you, we will protect you. It's called the deep state. Take a break. It's only going to be a couple minutes. We're going to come back and I'm going to have a 1-minute close, but please stay with me. Take a short break.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
I'm Jeff Riblet, President of Asset Protection Group. As a certified financial planner and with 20 years experience, I've helped thousands of families and business owners create a tremendous amount of wealth. Fortunately, most of that wealth has been protected. Don't allow an unforeseen life event, such as a nursing home stay or the next market meltdown, destroy your family's wealth. Be smart. Call me. Let's determine how best to protect your assets and preserve your wealth.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
All right, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. North Georgia's only live online morning show. Looks as though I have 3 minutes remaining. All right, so America doesn't care about the impeachment. America has learned that Ukraine is very corrupt. You are Googling and you are learning about how corrupt Ukraine is. Then you're scratching your head and you're saying, number 3, okay, you're saying, why is, all right, number 3, if Ukraine is corrupt, okay, why are these guys even involved? Like, why didn't Joe say, you hear these honorable mentions of Joe. Well, I've known Joe this many years. He's an honorable guy. I've never seen Joe do anything that wasn't above board. So why didn't Joe say to his dumbass son that can't keep his mitts off his brother's wife, true story, his dumbass son that can't keep the little Tudorutsky dollar bill, George Washington. We all know why you carried a George G.W. in your wallet so you could roll it up and get the little Tudorutsky in the military where you got your ass kicked out. So why didn't Joe have a dumbass son conversation? Look, son, come here. You're a dumbass. I mean, the guy on the 70s show, what's the dad's name on the 70s show? Who remembers him, right? Joe should have called the kid over and said, look, you're a total dumbass. You're a failure. You're never going to amount to anything, but you're my damn son. Can't take that away. You got the name. Don't go next to this. Do you understand? It's going to cause me a problem. No. So the American people know Burisma's corrupt, Ukraine's corrupt, and they can't figure out why this guy went close to it with a 10-foot pole. Because if he's not corrupt, why would you even go try to get in this mess? The American people are figuring that out. Nancy Pelosi, your bribery scheme is not working. We are going to take back the House in 2020. And don't forget tonight, folks, in Atlanta. Let me show you the group number 7. This is the group that comes together this morning trying to tear down the President of the United States. But don't forget, as we close the show. Number 8 tonight. Right there. Who is missing? Deval Patrick. Remember it all night long. Deval Patrick missing. You know what's missing? Wonder if Joe Biden will spend the evening saying, Barack and I. Why, Barack, we did this. Barack, we did that. Wonder if he will, knowing that Barack would never give him an endorsement. Used him, chewed him up, spit him out, and said, you don't have to do this, Joe. Why? Because I'm not going to endorse you. I'm not going to support you. I'm going to put my arm around Deval Patrick at the right time, right before they pull the lever in New Hampshire, and I'm going to go on the stage with him and say, I endorse him. Watch. Okay? Watch. If Homies for Life, number 23, Homies for Life, don't forget it. What happens? I'm your host, BKP. I'll be back tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Why did I say 10, 9, 8? Just take us out of here so I can get this straightened out.